Hi friends, what we're going to do is we are going to um, paint a sun with warm colors and the background with cold colors. So let's see the supplies that we need today. We need the paper, the other half of the paper that we used last week. We need a lid. It should be something to make a circle with, okay? It should be almost half the size of your paper. See how it is? It's almost half the size of the paper, right? Then I need a pencil, I need my watercolors, I need my crayons, I need some water because we are using watercolors, and I also have the color wheel that we made last week too, for checking out like what are the warm colors and the stuff. Okay, so once we have all that, let's get into the lesson. First, let's practice draw a sun on a whiteboard, or if you don't have a whiteboard, let's use a scrap paper and draw that. Okay, so I'm going to put the sun. This is not the sun, this is something that we are going to use to make the sun on. We are putting the paper this way in the portrait style, and then we are putting this half. We are going to trace half of this circle. Okay, when you're tracing, you'll have to push this hard, and then with the other hand you need to trace this. Can you see? Yeah, we got half a sun. Right, now we are going to make some rays for the sun. So for that, I'm going to start from here. I'm going to make a line, and then I'm going to make this like that. Okay, here, like that. Then I'm going to make another line. It's like rectangles, right? I'm making rectangles. It can be rectangles of different lengths. Okay, so maybe first you can make some lines, like leave space like that and make the lines in different lengths. Okay, once you're done, you're going to make a rectangle out of that. So you'll make L and then connect it. Make L and then connect it. L, connected, L, connected. So now we have the sun. So it's pretty easy to make the sun, right? If you don't want to make the rays in rectangular shape, let me show you another way. Okay, so we trace the same way. We trace the circle, half a circle, and this time we are going to make the rays like a triangle. So it is easy. What you need to do is just make V. So this here, it's half a V, so like that. Then you make a V, another V, but this is going to be a little bit longer. You're going to make V's in different size. So half a V in the end. Okay, so got it? So whichever way you want to make the rays, so these two, okay, because we're going to paint, so it'll be if you make like wavy lines for the rays, it's going to be a little bit hard to paint around that. So because this is the first day of painting, I suggest you guys stick to either V or like a triangle or a rectangular shape for the rays. So now you have practiced, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to put this away, take our paper. And did you guys already decide what type of sun you're going to make the rays? Yeah, so decide that, put it in the middle like that, leave equal space on either side. I'm going to take a crayon to draw the rays. Okay, maybe I'll use orange. You guys can use either orange or yellow. I'm using orange so you guys can see better. Okay, so I'm going to make this, push this down and make the suns, the middle part of the sun, the things that the rays, right? Then I'm going to make the rays. So the first ray, as I showed you, I'm going to make the this is more difficult one, so I'm going to draw that here. The V-shaped ones are pretty easy, right? You make them like that in different sizes. Here it's half a V, right? So this one, I'm going to do it here, the little more difficult one, but it's not that difficult yet. I'm going to connect it. I'm going to make some lines, leave some space in between because we need to turn this into a rectangle later, right? So I'm going to make the lines for the sun, leaving maybe 2 finger space in between, different lengths. Maybe let me make this a little bit more long. So once you're done with that, what you're going to do is you're going to make a line like that and then connect from here to here. Line like this, connect it. Line, connect it. Another line, connect it. Maybe this one is. I think there is space for 2 more, 3, 1, a few more. Maybe I'll change the color this time. I'm going to, because there is more space, I'm going to make more lines, okay? So I'm going to make a different length one. It's a little bit longer, short, medium size, long, okay? And then small line, connect, connect. Yeah. So guys, those of you who did with the triangle one, if you want to make more ones, you can just, so this you make with orange, and then this in between ones you can make with red. Will this look like a flower? It looks more like a sunflower. It doesn't matter, it'll look nice anyway. So now what I'm going to do next is, next is I'm going to take the yellow crayon. I hope you guys will be able to see what I'm doing with the yellow. So what I'm doing is I'm making lines like that. C, backward C, can you guys see that? Okay, now inside the rays also I'm going to make different types of lines. So here, this orange ones, I will make lines, zigzag lines like that. Or what should we call these lines? Spiky lines? Sometimes the kids name the lines that we make and they call them spiky lines, zigzag lines. So I made some lines here. Can you guys see this? I hope so. So if you couldn't see well, I'm going to do it on this one. So I'll show you spiky lines like this with the one. So in between one, so this one, if it is yellow, this is red, right? Yellow, red, like that. So in between ones, you are going to make the spiky lines. And then I'm going to make a different type of line for the next one. So let me do those lines so you guys can see well, because on the white paper and I'm do with yellow, you guys can see well, right? So this is what I did, all this spiky lines. So in between ones, I'm going to do another type of line. So maybe you can make lines like this, or you can make lines like this. It's up to you. So stick to one type of line for the next one. All the next ones will have another style of lines, okay? So here I'm going to make maybe this. Try to stay within the lines. We don't want to go outside. Okay, now it's the time to take some warm colors, not warm colors, cold colors. So I'm going to take the green, and then I'm going to make some circles in random places. I'm going to take the next cold color. What is the next cold color that you can think of? It is purple, right? So I'm going to make some lines, small lines, like sprinkles, small lines. Done. I think it looks good. Now we are going to paint. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we are going to open up palette. This we can put it aside. Don't need that now. You're going to take your brush. Okay, so the brush, before we start using the brush, let me tell you guys the parts of the brush that you need to remember. This, of course, is the brush's head of the brush, or we call it the bristles of the brush. Okay, this is a part with which we paint, and this is a part we call it the danger zone. The metal part, the silver part, it's the danger zone. The reason is, if you put your hand on this top of the danger zone, your fingers are in danger of what? Is it in danger of getting burned? Is it in danger of getting wet? Or is it in danger of getting the paint? Yes, your fingers are in danger of getting the paint on it. So we don't want the fingers to get the paint on it. So what we are going to do is we will always put our hand on the handle. The fingers should be on the handle just about the danger zone. And how do we hold our brush? We hold the brush just like you hold your pencil. Okay, don't ever hold it this way. This is not this way. This way you hold your brush when you're brushing your teeth, and that is a different type of brush. That is a toothbrush. This is a brush for painting. So the painting brush should be held this way. Okay, and another thing you need to do is, this is Mr. Brush. Did I tell you guys his name? His name is Mr. Brush. So Mr. Brush is very like, he likes his hair so much. Okay, so that's why he's combed it out in this way, upwards like that. If somebody messes his hair, he gets super angry. He won't help anyone who messes up his hair. So you need his help to paint, right guys? You need his help to paint. And if you mess his hair, do you think he will help you? Because he's so angry and he won't help you. So I want you guys to take good care of his hair. Don't touch it. If somebody, after you comb your hair, if somebody touches it, it messes up. If somebody runs their fingers through your hair, it messes up. If somebody try to scratch, it messes up. So just like that, this man's Mr. Brush's hair also messes up if somebody touches it, if somebody do this to their brush. So be careful. Okay, so that is one thing you need to take care of. Now let me show you how to start painting. The paint is all dry. So can you see? I'm like rubbing my fingers on the paint, and there is no paint on my finger. This is not the tempera paint that we use in school. Those paint is wet. These are dry. So we need to make it wet so that yeah, we can paint with it. So how do we do that? So watch what we do. We take the water that I said we need. We are going to dip our brush in the water. Okay, I'm just dipping it. I'm adding a drop of water in yellow, 2 drops, 3 drops, that would do. I need some of orange, so I'm going to add 3 drops of water in orange and 3 drops in red. And then what else do I need? I need blue, so I'm going to add 3 drops of water in blue also. So if by accident, if you touched your brush in the paint, it would be that color. So you're just going to just clean your brush, and then you're going to, now this is you have added water, but there is no much paint in this. See, if I paint with this, it is not that yellow. So you want to make it super bright. So we'll pretend that this paint is sleeping and we have sprinkled water. It's not getting up. We're now going to tickle the paint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swirl the brush lightly. I'm swirling, I'm just tickling it, okay? And I'm keeping in mind that I need to take care of my brush. So I'm just swirling such a way that the brush doesn't spoil and the paint doesn't get outside. Okay, now the paint is mixed well. So I'm going to take the paint and I'm going to start painting the sun. So we made the lines with the crayons, right? So those lines are going to show through because crayons are made with oil, or wax. Oil and water doesn't mix well. So what oil will push away the water that is on top of it, and you'll be still able to see the lines that we made. So if your brush is dry now, you're going to dip it in water, then take some more paint and then paint. Don't paint with a dry brush. Okay, so always dip in water, dip it in more paint, and then if the paint is too super light, you need to swirl your brush, tickle the paint, and then paint. Got it? And then you will try and paint in one direction. Am I messing the brushes here? No. And then am I stabbing the brush or am I scrubbing with my brush? No, that's not what we are doing, right? So now we are going to move on to the next color, which is orange. Orange, as you guys have learned last year, how do we make orange? We mix yellow and then red together, right? So there is yellow in this orange, so you don't have to wash your brush. I'm going to just swirl my brush in orange, and then I'm going to maybe put orange. I'm going to put orange in this orange colored rays. Mix it. This one is going to be red. Okay, guys. I'm trying to stay within the lines. So the best idea would be, I'm just dipping in water and swirling. Okay. Best idea would be to make a fence. First, go along the lines. Go along the lines. Make a fence and stay with the inside. And smoothen it out. Stay within the lines. Okay, so I'm making the line a fence. We call it a fence. We don't want the paint to go out, so we make a fence or a wall and then paint inside. Nobody should get outside the fence or the wall. I'm going to swirl in the paint because it is getting super light. Then I'm making the fence. And then you paint inside. Water, swirl in the paint. See that you're swirling in orange itself, okay? Sometimes I talk and do something and then I'll be not looking while I'm swirling my brush in and I put the brush in the wrong color. So don't do that. Okay, so now I'm done with orange. So the next color that I'm going to use is red. So I'm just going to rinse my brush a little bit. You don't have to rinse it too much because orange has red in it too, right? So I'm going to make a fence. Do you see the lines that we made with the crayons? I think with red you can see more, right? See that you stay inside. The red lines that I made are thin lines, so there is no space to make the fence. Always see that your brush is staying on the tippy toes. Your brush is a ballerina, and a ballerina stands on the tippy toes while the ballerina is dancing, right? So make your brush dance on your paper. Okay, so I'm done painting the rays. The sun part is done. Now what is remaining is the sky. So I'm going to rinse my brush really well. I'm going to take some blue now. So painting with blue has to be a little bit careful because you don't want the blue to get into the rays. So I'm going to just stand on the tippy toes. Don't take too much. I took a little too much of paint. Maybe I should spread it to the other side. Make your brush stand on the tippy toes. Check whether you're holding your brush the right way, okay? Just like your pencil. Because while we're concentrating too much, we may forget what we're doing, and then so you need to check that. I'm not there to check, so you guys need to check yourself, okay? So check that you're holding your brush the right way. And then there is excess paint. I'm going to spread it out. Come on, my friend. Spread it out. Mr. Brush, am I being nice to you? Am I messing your hair? No, you're being nice. Okay. Thank you. So Mr. Brush is painting super well because I'm not messing his hair, he's doing that, and he said I'm not messing his hair, right? So see that you are not messing your Mr. Brush's hair, okay? So be careful. Let him stand on the tippy toes and dance like a ballerina. What is okay. So here also you can see all the green dots and the purple dots that we made for the sky, right? When the brush is dry, dip it in water and then take a little swirl in the paint. Water, dip in the paint, and then water again because it's super dry. I don't want this is watercolor paint, so there should be water, right? Water, paint, tippy toes when you are in the in between the rays. You need to be really on tippy toes. Really careful. The last bit. Got it. So we are done, but again, I think if we forgot to put our name on the paper. The paper is still wet, I think. Let me see if mine, you guys wait for it to dry and write your name, okay? So my paper has dried up a little, so I'm writing my name. You guys are going to write your room number, not room number, your grade, and then you'll write your room number. So let me pretend that I'm in room 7. Is that a room 7? Okay, maybe 6. or. Okay, so you will write your room number, your grade, and your name, and then let it dry. After it dries, I want you guys to take a picture and email me in the email address that I'll put in the end of the video. Okay, so when you're done with the painting, there is some part. Hope you guys didn't put too much water because the paper would have ripped if you had done that. So once you're done, what you're going to do is you're going to wash your brush. Okay, wash your brush. Washing your brush is like sweeping the floor. See, so your brush, the head of the brush should be touching the floor of your container, and then all the color will come off. I'm not doing this, just wipes. Can you see well what is happening with the brush? Like that, and then wipe it. And when you're done, when you take a look at the brush, see, it looks just like how it was in the beginning, right? So that's how it should look. You leave it on the side where you found it, and then you're not going to close this right now because there is still water in here. We don't want to get this moldy, so you'll wait for it to dry. Maybe in 10-15 minutes it will be dry. Then you can close this and put it back in the envelope along with your the color wheel, because we need the color wheel next time also. So today we learned the warm colors and cold colors. We use the cold colors for the background, right? So put those back, the crayons also back, throw away the water, wait for this to dry and this to dry. Okay, so hope you guys had fun. Till we meet next week. Bye bye.